He Went to the River by Joe Black. He went to the river, and the river was there at the last knockings of the day. He slumped bankside and faded, a toppled statue of himself that felt the flowing and knew the knowing that what started as a trickle grew up into a flood, and now he was the last man breathing in a drowned world. The Lady and Lochsana by Dana Byatt. Beyond the brittle crunch of honeycomb, I see the light push silk from the ridges, foam and fall on ochre stone as cut by blade. I think of fate and contemplate the maid. You whistled fox and conjured fog and lured the hunter, Sheila. Horse and lady stripped of all but destined myth, a claim of clan. Her father, fierce as chieftain, grieved as man. With wisp of tongue you whipped up walls, induced the steed to stumble, daughter's stirrups loosed, a plundered anklet, charmed by whispered breath, and lulled by land and lie and sweetless stealth. Your boast belongs to worst of beast and cloud, and such construct meant she was never found, as hikers in their thousands guileless roam, not one suspect what lingers in the loam. Sea Journey by Pauline Rooney. One derelict house, isolated, clinging to the cliff's edge, divided into two, cracked down the centre of its pockmarked face. 3 stories high, green ivy ravaged walls, 4 shuttered windows hanging off splintered frames, 5 abandoned toys forsaken on an overgrown path, 6 rooks caw, black voices among the tall whispering grasses, 7 seashells on the mantelpiece, a line of snatched treasure, 8 rooms full of inky shadows and squelching footsteps on sodden floors, 9 families hiding, crouched behind a midnight blue sagging sofa, hopeful and hungry. 10 days waiting for a too small boat buffering against the waves, heading towards the promised land. Solstice in the Estuary, Victoria Park, by Anita Gregg. This is the narrow day when dark and dark are closest, and the day a pale grey trickle in between the shrouds of curtains drawn across the estuary. The open mouth, the earth's slow breathing, the cormorants are diving down into the salty river water, and circles widen in the stream between the mud banks, softly dreaming. This is the narrow day, the gate, the tipping of the hourglass, the stately galliard through time and space to the sea's slow breathing. Last Lighter by Alan Bell. Last lighter, ebbing slowly on its way. Duckweed and decay, now the skipper cried. Shout, shout about the sadness of that day. Moving things on water did not pay. Linen thread by train, faster way to ride. Last lighter, ebbing slowly on its way. In Achillee and Gowdy Bridge, cloud grey above, men empty, left with only pride. Shout, shout about the sadness of that day. But Agnew's and Fagin's, they would stay, living in Loch House, nestling by the side. Last lighter, ebbing slowly on its way. Families recalled, no more on display. Tread towpaths where memories abide. Shout, shout about the sadness of that day. Will it flow again? Now you need to pray for money and a vision there to guide. Pleasure craft plough merrily on their way. Shout, shout for that momentous happy day. The Bend in the River by Joan Carberry. Here, this is where we come, to the bend in the river, where the willow dips her head to nod us on. Here, where the shushing reeds let us know we can't cease with our talk. And the moorhen bustles about, too busy for the likes of us. Seagulls swoop and glide along their river road, and the heron stands sentinel on the bank. Then the grace of a kingfisher, a feather rush of blue and bronze, and your sorrow, stoppered until now, can flow with the lagan's drift. Here at the river's elbow, you can unbend. We do not matter here, and so, relieved of mattering, we drift to the quietness, to the liminal space the river land gives. Later, caught again in come and go and lists and longing, we catch in the inward eye an evanescent flash, a glimpse of blue and bronze, and we flow again back to the lagan, grateful for her gift.